Here are our objectives for today. So by the end of our session today, candidates should be able to correctly answer questions based on a Stage 2 reading and writing specimen paper set on the theme, The World of Music. Candidates should also be able to explain the various types of activities given on a Stage 2 reading and writing English skills exam paper and share information with others about what a blog is and what it should entail. Of course, you know that today is being celebrated as Read Across Jamaica Day. And I hope that you have been participating in many reading activities from morning until now. But if you have not, it's not too late. So I want to encourage you to grab your phone, go on the internet, grab a book, and read something interesting. Maybe today you want to concentrate on something fun reading, something fun and relaxing. So make sure you grab a book, go on your internet, and get reading. We are going to explore a Stage 2 specimen paper under the theme, The World of Music. If your memory serves you right, you will realize that we have done the Stage 3 specimen paper under the same theme. So now our focus is going to be on Stage 2. Remember, at Stage 2, you get 2 source documents to read. At Stage 3, you get 3. So today we're going to be focusing on 2. And here is source document number 1. Styles of 20th and 21st century music. The 20th century was a time of experimentation in music. As travel became more accessible, cities became more multicultural, which led to the development of new types of music. Because of the recording industry, various types of music became easily circulated, and different musical styles, now common in the 21st century, began to appear. Classical. Classical composers at the beginning of the 20th century rejected the romanticism of the late 19th century. Types of early 20th century classical music included Impressionism, Expressionism, and Neoclassicism. In the 21st century, many serious classical composers experiment with different techniques, while others have returned to a more conservative style. Jazz. At the beginning of the 20th century, New Orleans was one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the United States and where jazz began. The music we know today as jazz was a mix of many classical styles, including blues, Latin American music, and opera. The earliest jazz musicians were African Americans, but it was a white jazz band, the Dixieland Jazz Band, which made the first recordings and brought jazz to an international audience. Since the Second World War, many different styles of jazz emerged, including bebop, cool jazz, hard bop, and fusion. The blues. The blues is a genre of music developed in the southern U.S. from the fieldwork songs, gospel songs, and rhythmic dance. This became widespread after the Civil War. At the turn of the 20th century, many regional styles of blues were found throughout the American South. The blues would be a key ingredient in jazz and rock music. Rock and roll. Rock and roll developed from several musical styles, including country, rhythm and blues, and classic blues. Although the origins of rock and roll cannot be traced to one single person, it is generally accepted by historians that rock and roll began in 1954. This is when the disc jockeys started to play shows aimed at teenage audiences. These shows featured music by Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and a little later Elvis Presley. Rock and roll spread to Europe, especially England, during the 1960s. Now, in the 21st century, there are many genres of rock and roll, but they all can be traced to the styles developed by artists such as Chuck Berry. So that is the end of source document 1, and remember that you can read it as many times as you need to. Now let's look at some sample tasks. The instruction says you're to read the documents in the source booklet and answer the following questions. And the first one says, how would you best describe document 1? That's the document I just read. You're to tick the correct answer and it values 1 mark. So this is a multiple choice question. Is it an informative article, an advertising feature, a concert program, or a review of a musical? So you would agree with me that it is not an advertising feature, it is not talking about a concert, and it's not a review of a musical. It is an informative article. So we tick A. Next one. What led to developments in musical styles during the 20th century? You earn 1 mark if you answer correctly. There are many options, but remember you're to choose one, okay? So what led to the developments? You can talk about accessible travel, cosmopolitan cities, the recording industry, or rejection of romanticism. Any one of those. This one says you're to give 2 styles of classical music common in the 20th century. We have 3 styles, so you can choose any 2 from the 3. So we have Impressionism, Expressionism, and Neoclassicism. You choose only 2. Next one says, which city is considered to be the birthplace of jazz? If you don't remember, you simply go back to your source document and read that section about jazz, and you will arrive at your answer, and it is New Orleans. So that values 1 mark. The other one says, give 2 categories, all right? Remember, you always have to pay careful attention to the instruction, and it values 2 marks as well. So give 2 categories of music from which blues music evolved. All right, there are 3 that you could have chosen, but we're just going to focus on 2. So you can either choose fieldwork songs, gospel songs, or rhythmic dance. Any 2 of the 3, but don't give all 3. You're not going to get any extra mark for the 3rd one, so don't waste your time. Now, this picture was extracted from source document 1. It says, which genre of music do you associate with the image? So we are to focus on the picture that was extracted from source document 1. So which genre of music do you associate with that image? It is the classical music, and it values 1 mark. All right. It says in the box below, you are to underline 3 main points made in the text, and this task values 3 marks. So you have changes over the centuries, 19th century romanticism, development of South American music, promoting teenage audiences, Civil War influences, development of musical genres, and combination of musical styles. And you are to underline the 3 main points, and I've already underlined them for you. So it's changes over the centuries, development of musical genres, and combination of musical styles. Make sure you underline. Now, why have subheadings been used in the text? This question values 1 mark. There are many different responses that you could give, but you only need to give 1. So you could say that they make it easier to read, they make the text easier to read, or they make clear what the paragraph is about, or they present a different topic. You only need to give 1 of these reasons. This star says, in your own words. So we expect some paraphrasing, right? So in your own words, write the meaning of the highlighted word cosmopolitan, and it values 1 mark, right? And it means including people from different countries. Here's another. Which adjective, yes, in the same paragraph has the same meaning as cosmopolitan? So you're to go right back and look and use your context clues, right? And look for that adjective, and it is international. Here's another question. According to document 1, what do historians agree on? This question values 1 mark, and of course they agree that rock and roll began in 1954. The other question says, who was the target audience for music by Chuck Berry and Little Richard? And the target audience was teenagers, so you earn 1 mark there. So those are all the questions related to source document 1, okay? So we can go now and look at source document 2. The title is Entertainment Arts Competitions. The Jamaican Festival Song Competition is widely recognized on the Jamaican musical landscape as a major stepping stone in the careers of many Jamaican artists who have gone on to achieve success and international recognition. This year, the Jamaica Festival Song Competition is on a mission to engage young, talented Jamaicans to create songs that invoke a spirit of celebration with international appeal and relevance. The Jamaica Festival Song Competition can be described as the greatest means of musical expression for national patriotism through the union of songwriters, singers, and producers. The Jamaica Gospel Competition was introduced by the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission in 1987, developing and showcasing the best of Jamaican culture to include the popular area of gospel. The competition quickly became a powerful presentation of indigenous gospel music in Jamaica. From the start, it has attracted numerous artists, producers, and songwriters of original gospel music. The finalists in both the Jamaican Festival Song and the Jamaican Gospel Song competitions will be involved in the production of a musical album, press interviews, and an island-wide tour before the big night of the final competition. In addition, finalists will also benefit from increased marketing and public relations support to be provided by the Commission. Over the years, the festival and gospel song competitions have been responsible for developing the careers of many well-known artists, including Ernest Smith, Lubert Levy, George Gordon, Toots Hibbert, Glacier Robinson, Becento, Kevin Downsville, Cargo, Karen Ennis, and Leigh. Here's some additional information now. Here's some additional information. Entry forms for this year's competitions, along with the relevant rules, are available for collection at the JCDC head office located at 3-5 Phoenix Avenue, Kingston 10. All JCDC parish offices island-wide, or apply online at www.jcdc.gov.jm. So that takes us to the end of source document number 2. The instruction says you're to read document 2, and we just did, in the source booklet and answer the following questions. This one says you're to tick the correct answer, and it values 1 mark. It says document 2, is it a religious text, a musical review, a promotional text, or a government report? And it is a promotional text of the JCDC competition, so we tick C. This question says, what is seen as a stepping stone for the Jamaican artists in their career progression? And you will earn 1 mark if you answer it correctly, right? And the Jamaica Festival Song Competition, that is seen as a stepping stone for the Jamaican artists. The other one now is a multiple choice question. It says, which verb could replace, so we're looking for a synonym now, right? Which verb could replace the word invoke in the text? And I'm going to show you in the text in a little while. It values 1 mark. And you are to tick, I forgot my tick this time, but you are to tick the correct response. All right, so invoke, let us look at it in the sentence. So this is straight from the source document. It says, this year, the Jamaica Festival Song Competition is on a mission to engage young talented Jamaicans to create songs that invoke a spirit of celebration with international appeal and relevance. So if you're not sure, you just go right back to the source document. And in this case, raise, right? Raise awareness. That would be the best choice. Next question. When did the Jamaican Gospel Competition begin? Very easy one, a literal level question. You just go right back to the source document. It began in the year 1987. This one says, give 2 benefits for the finalists of the competition. There are many, many benefits, but you only want to give 2. So I have put all the benefits on the screen, but you only need 2. So it could be involvement in the production of a musical album, or press interviews, or an island-wide tour, or increased marketing support, or increased public relations support. The other question says, why have commas been used in the final paragraph? And you will earn 1 mark if you answer correctly, and it is to list the artists' names. The other one says, how can musicians and artists enter the competition? All right, so the question values 1 mark, so if you give 1 response, that's perfectly fine. So you could say they can collect a form or complete a form, or they can apply online, any one of those. This one says you're to identify 1, single one, just 1 organizational feature used in the document. So you could either, it has image, you can use image or block capitals or color or bold text or different fonts. When you get your source document, you will see all of these organizational features. So you just give 1. Then this is a follow-up question. It says, why has the feature been used? So if you had chosen image, you could say it provides a visual representation of the topic or the main idea. If you had chosen block capitals, you can say to grab the reader's attention. If you had chosen color, you can say because it is visually appealing. If you had chosen bold text, you can say to highlight important words or subheadings. And if you had chosen different fonts, you could say to highlight important words, phrases, or subheadings. So you explain the purpose of the organizational feature. Okay, this takes us to section 2. So we're going now to our reading, and we're going now to our extended writing activity. Now this one says you are to write a blog or an article or a blog about different styles of music. Now I know that young people know a lot about music, so you should have a lot to write about. Now you may not know what a blog is, but you do know what an article is because we've spoken about it many times, and you'll get some information on the blog today. For this topic, you are to think about popular musical genres in Jamaica. Think about all the different types of music that you know and you're familiar with in your own country. Think about musical influences from other parts of the world, right? Where our influences come from, what influence the music that we have here in Jamaica. Think about how music has changed in the last century. And you can do your research on that and also give your views on the future of music. What do you think will happen in the future? So these are the prompts that City and Guilds provides. It says you may use information from source documents 1 and 2. So you are given permission. You have to go ahead. Remember, if you do use information, you try to paraphrase as best as possible. It says, but the blog or article must be in your own words. And we suggest that you write about 200 to 300 words. Okay?